Every time we do a legend, there is a lot of soul searching around the why for the theme. And the theme changes based on what we're going through in the world and what I am personally going through, what is alive for me personally, but also what is alive for us in terms of community. And I'll be honest with you, I feel like who we are as women, creatives, and healers at this time, it's like there's not a name for who we are. When we think about the word healer, or we think about the word shaman, or curandera, or medicine woman, there are so many cultural associations and words we're supposed to use and not use, and so many things. And yet it feels like healer isn't quite the shape either for what I'm talking about. This real sense of embodiment of living out your personal medicine. Yes, I mean medicine woman. Yes, I mean female shaman. Yes, I mean keeper of the gifts. Yes, I mean whisperer. Yes, I mean all of these things. And many of us were connected with our cultural, creative, medicinal healing rites and roots, and many of us were not. And yet that doesn't mean that only those who had it have a right to be carriers of these gifts. And while I deeply, profoundly honor those of us who have had that opportunity, I really invite you to the understanding that if you haven't had that root system, if you didn't have a grandmother pass you herbs, if you didn't have a drum teacher teach you how to sing into the frame, if you didn't have someone teach you how to be at a birth or a death, if you didn't have someone pass on the recipes, if you didn't have someone pass on the gift of how to see, you still have healing gifts. And we need you. And so I just want to take this opportunity to address this and say that I believe in all of our ancestral lands and histories and herstories, there have been healing women. There have been healing guides. And if you're here right now and you're interested in this idea of the healers, there's something in you that wants to call that forward, that wants to be a part of that story. And yet even some of the most healing women I know, people have whole practices dedicated to healing, don't feel like they should call themselves a healer. So there's this whole taboo around this healer thing. And I really get it. And I'm really conscious of not culturally appropriating things that don't belong to me. I have many gifts that have come to me through 25 years of intentional creativity and sacred practice. I did have magical mamas and grandmothers. I did have medicine passed directly to me. But my personal medicine is to pass the awareness to you that you are also carrying gifts, codes, patterns, maps, healings, potentials, and that healing and being a healer isn't just for the special people. It's for all people who feel the call. And so, at least for this cycle of time, I invite you to be present with surrendering the need to validate how you are a healer, or what justifies you, or what qualifies you, or what makes it possible for you to be an embodied healer. We're not talking about hanging the shingle out kind of healer, although some of you will do that. I'm talking about just like in your own spirit, knowing that you are carrying gifts for the world and that you want to share them here at Musea, here at Cosmic Cowgirls, here in Intentional Creativity, here in the Red Thread Circle. I'm inviting you to assume the embodiment of your own healing powers, to not have to hide them or be ashamed of them, neither to do spontaneous readings for others or over project what you think on the group, or, like there are boundaries. I'm talking about to yourself, to begin to feel what it feels like to carry the codex of being a healer with yourself. Some of us are awakening the inner healer for ourselves, and others of us are awakening the healer that will bring gifts out to others. And so In order to do that, we need to work with our own story and our own relationship to the inner healer and how we work with it. And so through this experience, I am inviting you to embody the healer archetype connected with your inner healer self, but also this awareness of being one who carries many gifts, many ways of seeing and listening and offering onto the altar of humanity. So welcome, all of you. Welcome, priestesses, shamans, healers, guides, seers, mystery weavers, mystics, those who see between the worlds, those who dance between the worlds, those who know things that others don't know, those who whisper, those who travel in between dimensions, those who are from here, those who are not from here, those who are carrying the gifts of the future. Welcome. There has been so much damage over these past 7,000 to 8,000 years that I must necessarily believe that our time has come, that you have been called, and I welcome you to join us, to be with us, to journey with us in Legend 2022.